Trae. Come on, it's the day with Trae. Trae. With Trae. With Trae. Come on, it's the day with Trae. Trae. With Trae. With Trae. Come on, it's the day with Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Oh, come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peaks that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to another terrific Tuesday. Really excited for these brothers I got in the building, y'all. We're going to be talking about sports in a wide variety of ways. And first up, we got Evan Cook joining us once again. He's going to be telling us about this phenomenal youth sports camp that he has coming up this summer. And later on in the show, we got TR Miles in the building, also giving us his history and how he's pouring into the sports community. So y'all are definitely in for some inspiring stories. Of course, it is the top of the show, so it's a perfect time for you to go ahead and participate with us and help us spread this inspiration around by tagging and sharing the stream with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch us, you can still listen to us, y'all, because we are everywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find me on whichever platform is your favorite. Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got TR Miles in the building. What's up, TR?
How you doing?
I'm great.
Good to see you.
Great to have you here. Now, you know, you do several things, but sports and entertainment artists, I want to hear a little bit more about this because clearly you have your hands in multiple pots here. Tell us a bit about those beginnings in your journey.
Well, you know, I have an affinity for sports and entertainment. I was basically born into sports. My dad was an NBA player and for the Pistons. And I literally, as a kid, grew up in Motown. And so, you know, these celebrity people were my neighbors. They were in the neighborhood. And so I grew up with that being normal. And so as I moved forward in sports, you know, I myself was a player and I tried to, you know, we all want to emulate our fathers. You know, we want them to be proud in that way. And I've always loved sports. But I've always also loved art. And so this thing happened, you know, this kind of fusion of sports and art happened where I went from, I've said it before, I went from Trae Miles, the athlete, to TR Miles, the artist. But I've always kept that love for sports. And so it's just a natural fit for me.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful to hear this because I don't talk to many people who can blend both of those worlds. So this is fantastic. But you've taken your artistry to another level in terms of now being known as a pixel artist. You got to tell us more about this.
Well, I mean, I'm a pixel painter.
Okay.
Which is, you know, which I distinguished. I started off years ago as a graphic designer. And then I've always painted, I've always drawn and done those types of things like that. But then I just got into the finer art of the graphic side. You know, when I was a kid, I used to draw these realistic renderings. And I can remember one time I showed a piece to my uncle, and he wasn't as impressed as I wanted him to be. You know, and when you're a kid, you think, oh man, there's a little hate in his teeth, you know. But what he was saying was correct. What he said to me was that, you know, the artwork is good, but there's somebody on every corner that can do it like that. So I always carried that with me. And so this style just happened. And I can remember exactly when it happened. I literally went to sleep with this piece that I had. And it spawned my style, which is known as broken glass art. And so as using a pencil, using the paintbrush, but using the mouse is what pixel painting is all about. So I basically am painting with the mouse, freehand using the mouse. So that's developed into my style, and I've been running with that.
Well, you know, this is for me what I enjoy so much about the world of artistry is that story for every artist that is reflected in your works of art. How have people been receiving your amazing paintings? Tell us about the receiving end, because there's always this like kind of awe moment. When you're just getting introduced to a new artist and to their style, because it is so unique to them. Tell us about that, kind of how folks are receiving you.
Well, it's a little better now, because I've been doing this for a long time. And, you know, now that, you know, people are becoming more abreast with graphic programs and doing things like that, they kind of have an understanding of the things that I'm doing. But what has happened, seriously, because in the beginning, people were, is this really art? I mean, it's design for sure. You know, is this something that we can associate with, you know, like the traditional painting or things like that? But what has happened is that now that people are doing graphic design, they're seeing that what I'm doing is a little different. Because as a graphic designer, I understand all the bells and whistles of the graphic programs to know that what I'm doing with the glass is simplistic and different, and everyone could do that. So I consider myself a digital jazz artist in that respect, seriously, because it's improvisational. In the micro, it's, you know, scattered showers. Everything's all over the place, just shape after shape after shape, improvisationally. But in the big picture, in the macro, it's precise. Like a jazz soloist, you know, he might play, but you know that's Mary Had a Little Lamb, no matter how they play that. So it's something to, and then my peers, like I'll get into that a little bit later, the guys that I'm running with, my artist group, you know, they have a lot of respect for what I'm doing. But you know, you get some of that professional ribbing. Hey man, you know, that's really good, man. We got to get some paint on your hand, on your clothes or whatever. So I had to go backwards and to kind of establish, okay, well, this is me with the paintbrush, so that you understand that this is me with the mouse doing the same thing. Because it's so funny to actually, when I'm painting, I hear the same things that I'm telling myself graphically. It really is the same process. And I do make the distinction between graphic design and graphic art.
Wow. You know, I'll tell you that I get really touched when I hear the passion of any creative person. Me as a creative, I'll just be like, yes, absolutely, right? But you're working with some other amazing artists who have their own aesthetic, and together y'all are creating an opportunity for folks to kind of tap in. You got to tell us more about Zebras.
Zebras, Seattle Black Renaissance artists.
Yes.
Now, so I've known these artists for a number of years. And I've always been attracted to them because I'm impressed by them. We work together, but I'm fans of theirs because they're so talented. And, you know, and there's, you know, when we talk about Black art, you know, we don't really see ourselves as Black artists. We see ourselves as artists, you know, but Black art is a category. And of course, we're proud to represent that. So when I say Black Renaissance art and all those things, it's not to exclude anyone, because Black is a culture, you know, and that has no color. So it's been fun to align myself with these guys because we're inspiring these other. And when I look at the work, that Myron Curry does. I look at Rodney King's work. I look at Vincent Keel's work. Even Sade Brown, Yolanda Gallery, all the Zebras that you'll see coming up next month at our show. These are people that move me to work harder. put me in a place where I just feel, they say, you're doing the right thing when you can't wait to wake up and get started. Well, that's what I do every day. And I'm excited that we're having this opportunity. We've been trying to actually do this for a while now. This will be our first event as Zebras, but collectively we've been in shows together before, and we've tried to make this a reality. And that's why we're so thankful to the SEED organization, SEED Arts in Seattle, and Columbia City Gallery. That's Carrie Karsten and Kathy Fowles, where they're giving us an opportunity to come in and do it the way we want to do it, to curate this show the way we see fit. And that's one of the things that they've been able to do for their members in their gallery and for the community at large. When there's relevancy, when there's something that's impactful for the community, that's important to the area, you can make that happen.
Yeah.
And so we're thankful for that, and like I said, this is our first event together as Zebras, but we've also done some things together before. As a matter of fact, very close to here is Myron's gallery in the Exchange Building. He has an event coming up this weekend, Hard in the Paint, Saturday and Sunday this week. Also, Rodney has something coming up this week. It's the 3rd annual Kingpin 88, which is at the Lotus Lounge in Tacoma. So be on the lookout for those 2 events. So it's really fun working with these guys. And the reason why it's so fantastic, because you can just feel something happening. When I say Renaissance, that equates to a revival or a resurgence as such. And when you think about, I'm looking at your board back here, Seattle has an illustrious history, particularly in the entertainment realm. Jazz luminaries, you got Quincy Jones, Ernestine Anderson. Well, I can honestly tell you, this is happening in real time. Like I tell Rodney all the time, hey man, you are Ernie Barnes to us, stylistically. He has that type of ability. Myron Curry's work the man paints highlights. It's so incredible. If you've seen his work, it's on 23rd and Union. It's amazing. I call Vincent Doctor because he's like the intellectual of the group in terms of the art world. He's an academician of sorts, and we can lean on him for that. When you see Sade's work, it's so touching and so moving because it comes from a very deep place. She touches on some mental illness issues, and she has some very classic kind of, what would you call it, classy nudity in her work that's amazing. And when you see Yolanda's color spectrum, the vibrancy in her work, I mean, we are Black artists, but we are Black artists because of our affinities to that. But we are artists who are putting things out for the world to see. And this is a fantastic opportunity for everyone else to come and be a part of that collectively.
Yeah. I mean, well, when you talk about Zebras and you're talking about artist renaissance, I mean, immediately there's something that comes to mind for me where I start going back, right? I think about just Black Renaissance. Right. That means a lot. It says a lot. Right. And so clearly y'all are bringing your brilliance together in this way, kind of for this first time, this way as Zebras, but bringing it together and curating that experience. What kind of experience are you really looking for the audience to have when they come to Zebras?
What I want them to have to experience is it's more like a discovery. So when you say Renaissance, this is a discovery because there is an art scene here, but we're trying to make art a destination, a worldwide destination. So like I said, I respect and appreciate all the people who have put energy into promoting the Black artists in the city. This is just an act to bring it to a higher level, to bring more focus on, hey, we're clamoring for the Sonics to come back to town, correct? Right. Well, I want you to consider the Zebras as the Seattle Art Sonics. Yeah. We have that boldness, the innovation, the things that you would think of when, you have ball players all over the city, let's say. But when they're the Sonics, it gives everyone the easement to the event, so to speak. Everyone can come all around and show up at the stadium and witness that. Well, that's what we're doing.
Wow.
We're taking what I consider, and like I said, I know these guys. We're friends now. But the reason why I associate with them, because I'm so impressed by them. I pulled Myron's code a few years ago. I said, man, your work is fabulous from the gallery. The same thing with the Charday, the same thing with Vincent, same thing with Rodney. I'm a critic. So if I love your work, I and respect your work, it's good. Yeah. Let me tell it. And so I just think it's important to distinguish, because everything comes in levels. And that's not to knock anyone who's doing whatever, because there's galleries here that are welcoming entry-level artists who have never shown before. I think that's fabulous. But I think that it's time for Seattle to understand that if you need to come see the best in Black art, anytime you see a CBER event, that's what's on the menu.
Wow, that's a really great way of explaining. Of course, we got to give you time to give us those details. You're going to look right here, let folks know how they come and experience this amazing artistry of all of y'all as artists.
All right, well, be on the lookout. Our event is at the Columbia City Gallery. The show goes from July 10th through September 8th. Our opening is the 13th, Sunday. I believe is that a Sunday? July 3rd, maybe Saturday or Sunday. July 13th, 5 to 7 at Columbia City Gallery is our opening. Look, I can tell you that you will be in for a treat. This is some of the best, quote unquote, Black art in the world, not just Seattle. And like I said, Seattle has a scene, but we want to make this a worldwide destination point because we have people who are deserving. And you will be able to see that when you check into our show. Now, we'll also be promoting it all month long on all the social media platforms and whatnot. So just be on the lookout. Make sure you write this down, save the date, July 13th. Come to the opening. You will be blown away.
Yeah. You know what, TR, thank you so much for being with me today. It's been a pure pleasure and definitely inspiring.
Thank you so much. This is fantastic. I appreciate being here.
Y'all, I'm telling you, inspiration abounds today. I get to wrap it all up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Spring Awakening, live on stage this June at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Winner of 8 Tony Awards, Spring Awakening weaves youth, love, and the clash between generations all in one powerful rock musical. Buy tickets now at fifthavenue.org.
Ballet's greatest comedy, Coppelia, returns to Pacific Northwest Ballet. Perfect for all ages, Coppelia delights with dazzling dancing and magnificent music played by the PNB Orchestra. Seven performances only. Visit pnb.org for tickets.
Start the show.
Welcome back to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a phenomenal episode, y'all. Huge shout out to my guest, Evan Cook, for bringing his sports history and expertise to young folks in this amazing sports camp. Y'all, of course, if you are trying to get somebody signed up, make sure you step up and go rewind so you know exactly where to go. All right, evancook.com. He said use the E as a 3 and you'll find me. That's what he said. Okay. You won't find me there, but you'll find him. So make sure you go there, get all the details for this phenomenal camp and get young folks registered and sign up. This is one of those opportunities where the blending of, the mental acuity that's needed to understand who you are beyond an athlete is so key. And I'm so glad that Evan is doing this with his other partners. Of course, huge shout out to Game of Life. And tomorrow, y'all will actually see another partner. But, I also got to give TR Miles, y'all, a huge thank you for being here. Zebras. What a phenomenal concept of bringing together so many amazing artists into one collaborative to showcase their works and really create Seattle as an art destination, which it should be, because he is so right. We have phenomenal artistry here, and it's on us. We got to be the first ones to be the fans of it so that others understand they need to be fans of it. So make sure y'all stay plugged in and get there on July 13th to Columbia City Gallery. Y'all, as he said, you'll be blown away. Well, I want to thank y'all for continuing your week with me. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. And until then, y'all, peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.